Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. I hope you're having a fantastic day. As you've probably already seen, Elden Ring's first DLC is here. It's not a full expansion with any additions to the campaign, it is purely a PvP DLC, in which the three Colosseums around the lands between, in Limgrave, Langdale, and Khalid, have now opened their doors for all Tarnished to fight for honour and glory. So, I wanted to make this quick video for you, showing you all there is to know about the Colosseums, where to go, how to get there, what to do, and what to expect. Also, as you will see throughout your time with this video, I suck at PvP. Admittedly, I'm not using a PvP build, I'm actually using a build from one of my previous videos. But if you do have any awesome PvP builds that you love, please let me know, please share in the comments. Because with the Colosseum now here, I may actually do a few PvP videos and showcase some of your builds. So, sorry, enough stalling, let's get into it. And we will actually start off at the Langdale Colosseum, because it is the most boring of the three. So, obviously, to get to this Colosseum, you need to be in Langdale, and it is fairly close to the West Rampart site of Grace. Just go past the gargoyle and up the stairs past the two Grave Warden duelists, and here is the entrance. As you will see shortly, each Colosseum is for different fights. And the reason I say this is the most boring is because literally the only thing you can do here is duels. Which I know will be amazing for the hardcore among us, but that is not me. So yeah, it's as simple as that. You just open up the menu, you cannot amend any of the settings in this screen, bar obviously putting in a password if you want, so you're more likely to be matched with a specific person, and then you just want to enter combat. And as we step into the arena, I am matched with Bigotry 0. So of course, it's a duel, so I will bow in honour before the duel starts, and he's immediately hit me. What a scumlord. Now admittedly, I don't really know PvP etiquette as I haven't done it myself, but I did think the standard thing to do was bow before a duel. I don't know if rules go out the window because we're in the Colosseum, or if this guy's just a bit of a sweat. But anyway, I got absolutely wrecked there. So let's load back into the main world and start preparing to head to the next area. One quick piece of information for you that I'm sure loads of people will be wanting to know before we move on. Even for winning any of these battles, you do not get any rewards. Just like always when summoning people for duels, you're purely doing this just to test your skills and have some fun. That's not to say they won't add more game modes and maybe even rewards in the future, but for now, this is it. So now let's move into the Limgrave Colosseum. Obviously, you can find this one just here to the very north of Limgrave. And as you'll immediately see, we have a few more options this time. In Limgrave, you can do both United Combat and a Combat Ordeal. You can also select 2, 4, or 6 combatants, or you can select any, and it will just put you in whichever match is found quickest. United Combat is in teams, and Combat Ordeal is a free-for-all. So as an example, a Combat Ordeal with 2 combatants is essentially a duel. But a Combat Ordeal with 6 is a 6-player free-for-all. Similarly, United Combat 2-player is just a duel, whereas United Combat 6-player is a 3v3 teams. That's the gist of the rules for the 2 combat formats here, so let's jump in and take a look. As you'll see, you get 300 seconds, also known as 5 minutes, and it is absolute chaos. I must admit, this has immediately made PvP incredibly more fun for me than it ever was before. The idea of just getting good at PvP for the sake of it never really appealed to me, but there is quite a lot of uniqueness and some real fun to be had in these modes. So it's making me think twice about revisiting the PvP and doing it a lot more and taking it a lot more seriously. Also, as you'll see, you do respawn pretty much instantly every time you die, and the aim is just to get as many eliminations as possible before the round ends. During my first ever 6-player free-for-all, I did manage to get 10 eliminations. However, the supreme combatant, first place, went to Cobalt Eye. It would be really cool if it showed you an actual leaderboard. I would love to see, like, is 10 eliminations good? Did I come bottom or did I come third? And also exactly how many elims the person who came first got as well would be really interesting. So now let's jump into United Combat. And as I'm letting the first bit of this footage play out, I would just like to say, for every single person currently subscribed to this channel, thank you so much. I was out for a walk with the dog last night and it hit me just how close we are to 100,000 subscribers. A number that when I first started this journey, about a year and a half, 2 years ago maybe, I thought was practically impossible. It was just a pipe dream and not something that I could ever actually achieve. Like, I'm not one of them massive YouTubers that's good enough to build a whole community that are passionate enough to want to subscribe and keep coming back to this awesome content, but we've done it. At least in regard to YouTube videos, I did indeed, as the Souls community would say, get good. It feels so truly unbelievable and overwhelming that I seriously cannot thank you enough. And if you aren't already subscribed, you could be one of the people that help us reach that 100k. And if you are watching this video on the day it's released, I will be doing a YouTube stream later on this evening just to test it and make sure everything's working, because I have got a 100,000 subscriber special coming up very soon where I will be attempting the most ridiculous Elden Ring challenge live on stream. So if you want to help us reach that 100k and join me for the live stream, it would mean the world to me. And for everyone who has been a part of this community, whether it's for a day, a week, a month, or even the whole 2 years this channel has existed, I know I've already said it a few times, but genuinely, sincerely, thank you so very much. And now that you have seen me get absolutely annihilated time and time again, I'll just address as we finish up this 3v3 that just like with the free-for-all, rather than telling you the team that won, it just tells you the combatant that won. So Floopy was the supreme combatant and had the most eliminations. But does that mean that our team lost? I mean, I'm pretty sure we did. We did pretty badly. But I'd also like to know how the team as a whole did. So hopefully they will be adding some more statistics and maybe even rankings and a leaderboard. I think that would be awesome, especially for the hardcore PvPers. Anyway, with that rant and that segment out the way, we are now moving on to the best, most exciting segment, the most awesome addition that they've added in with the Colosseum update, and that is the Khalid Colosseum. So join me now as we make our way there. As you probably know, the Colosseum in Khalid is behind the Great Jar. But just in case you don't know how to get there, I meet you now at the Shifra River well in Limgrave. Let's head down and start sprinting through Shifra River. I'll skip most of the footage but leave in the key moments, so you just want to run northeast all the way through this area and take the next lift up. Once here, again, just keep running northeast as far as this area will take you. Just over halfway, I'm going to grab this Site of Grace just in case something goes wrong, because there are some bastard ancestors with some bastard arrows here, and I'll show you on the map in just a second. This is exactly what we're aiming for. So we'll run up these stairs, activate the Stone Sword Gargoyle statue, and head on up. And we will now pop out at the Deep Shifra well in Khalid. From here, just keep running northwest. You can actually ignore these two golems that you see me killing, but I wanted to take them out because as this is my first journey here, I wasn't sure if we would have to defeat the Great Jar's champions or not. I decided to summon one of them and absolutely obliterate him with the Blood Boon ritual. However, I thought, you know what, let's not kill them all, let's run behind him and see if it will allow me to open the doors anyway, and sure enough, it does. So if you do want to sprint here at a low level, don't worry, you don't need to defeat his champions, you can just run straight in. And this is the juiciest, most chaotic Colosseum. This will allow you to do all 3 combat formats with any number of players. Obviously, duels are always going to be 1v1. And it will allow you to bring in Spirit Ashes. So you have a limited amount of healing flasks. You have your Spirit Ashes. You've got team fights. You've got free-for-alls. This is absolute chaos, absolute carnage. And I can only imagine the amount of wacky and wild PvP builds people are going to think up. And I reckon trios, actual pre-made 3v3 teams, if you combine your builds and help them work together and synergize, I reckon there will be some absolutely lethal, absolutely game-breaking builds, especially when you then get your Spirit Ashes involved as well. So please, I know I said it already, but share your PvP builds with me. It would be absolutely awesome to try a load of this stuff out. And actually, I'd like to take this opportunity to give a shout out to Rizzy in our Discord server, who gave me a brilliant idea yesterday. If the community do love this Colosseum update as much as I'm hoping, we could even host tournaments. So make sure you jump in the Discord server, the link is below in the description, and we can discuss setting up viewer tournaments, either for a video, on stream, or even just offline for fun. I think it would be chaotic and so much damn fun. As you've been able to see throughout the majority of this video, I don't think I'd last long in a viewer tournament. I would probably be eliminated in the first round. I suck at PvP. But hopefully you all can help me and we can learn and get better together. That pretty much sums up the PvP update. The one last thing I'd like to say is this is absolutely fantastic that it's given PvPers specific areas to go and PvP. Obviously, the Elden Ring community at large have set up makeshift arenas, such as the entrance to the Raya Lucaria Academy. That's kind of been ground zero for duels. But it's really, really nice that they've given us so much freedom and also so many more options. Overall, even as someone who has barely PvP'd and does not really enjoy PvP, even I personally feel this is an amazing update, a great addition to the game, and it's free. FromSoft have been throwing so much free content at us. I mean, do you all remember the fact that Jarburg didn't even originally exist? They've added whole extra areas and whole extra NPC questlines into the game for free since release. The amount of free content and updates we've had so far is insane. I personally cannot wait to give them my money for a paid DLC. FromSoft, you seriously deserve it. Let us pay for a whole new DLC, please. Thank you. And now, as I sit here defeated, recovering from my wounds of my most recent Colosseum failure, I would just like to say, as always, thank you so much for watching. I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.